everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney, and today I'm doing my July paycheck number 2 budget. This is a little overdue, but like I've mentioned in some of my previous videos, things have been super crazy lately. Like, I know it has been for everybody, but there's a lot of stuff just going on. So I'm sorry this is a little bit late, but let's jump into the video and see how my paycheck number 2 for July is going to go. So if you watch my previous videos, you know I start with my bills and expenses. I split my bills and expenses into 2 separate paychecks. So my paycheck 1 plus my paycheck 2 equals the amount that I need to pay in the next month. So right now I'm saving the bills that I need to pay in August. So that means when I do my paycheck number 3 budget, I don't have to take any money out of that for my bills and expenses, which is really, really exciting. So I'm going to start with my car payment. I'm going to take $100 out of this paycheck for my car payment, meaning that my car payment next month is $200. Next is my private student loan. This one is nope, just kidding. It's $109. It's $218 every month. So I mess up a lot, and I'm really sorry, but I don't have any whiteout, so you'll just have to live with it. Next is my federal loan, and this gets $35.50 taken out of it. My federal loan is technically in forbearance until November due to COVID, but because I am still working, I'm an essential worker, I have decided to keep paying it just to try to pay off some of the principal balance, so that way when it does start up again, the interest won't be quite as high at first. And next is I get a crystal subscription box just to kind of help my mental health. I picked up a new hobby, so I've been doing tarot and getting more involved with crystals and just kind of holistic healing. So I did sign up for a crystal subscription box. If you'd like to see more of that on this channel, please let me know down below. I've been absolutely loving tarot readings and crystal videos, so I would love to share what I've learned so far if you're interested. But the total for my bills and expenses out of this paycheck is $259.50. Next, I do my cash envelopes. So my cash envelopes are the ones that I keep in my wallet at all times. They are my 4 most used envelopes. So I start with my spending money. This is money that I can use on whatever I want. I give myself $60 out of each paycheck. So that means that because I get paid bi-weekly, I get roughly $30 each week to spend on myself. I could potentially lower that, but I also don't want to deprive myself either, because I know if I give myself too low of a budget, I'll just break it and spend way more than I should. So $60 is a comfortable area for me. I would suggest you guys play around with it just a little bit to see what works best for you. Next is gas. I budget myself $60 out of each paycheck for gas. I don't typically use this much in gas just because I live only like 10 minutes away from my work, but my boyfriend does live about 45 minutes away from me, so depending on the week and how many times I go see him, my gas bill can be a little bit higher than normal, so I keep it at 60, and if I don't use it all, I just put it towards my debt snowball when I refill my cash envelopes. Next is my grocery budget, and I just recently increased this to $100. Due to COVID, I really do feel like prices have increased recently, and that could just be in my head, but $60 for groceries a week was just not enough for me anymore, and I am able to afford a slightly higher grocery budget, so I did increase it, knowing that if I don't spend all of this money in the 2 weeks that I can put it towards my debt snowball. And lastly is date night. I personally like to split date nights, so my date night budget for this paycheck is $50. I don't like when my boyfriend pays for all the dates. I like things to be semi-equal, so he'll typically pay for dinner, and then I'll pay for the tip, and then we'll go get dessert somewhere or something like that. Recently we've been eating in because of COVID, so we'll order food and bring it home, or we'll spend extra money on groceries to have a nice meal, something like that. My total cash envelope out of this paycheck is $270. Okay, lastly, I have my sinking funds. So my sinking funds are kind of like savings accounts, but I put the money in a designated envelope, and that is the only thing that I spend that money on. So my first one is the apartment. And if you want more information on what each sinking fund is, I suggest you watch my cash envelope stuffing videos, because I go into depth more on what I use each of these for. Next is my car sinking fund, and that gets $20. Then I have medical, which also gets $20. And then I have gifts. So I'm doing $20 in my gifts envelope now, and I got rid of my garden fund just because I don't, at this point in the year, I don't need to contribute more into my garden fund, but I do want to start increasing my gifts budget, so that way when Christmas comes around I have more money than I did last year. And then once Christmas is over, I will start contributing to my garden fund again. Travel gets $10. And then I have a sinking fund for my boyfriend, so I can buy him stuff once in a while, and that gets $10. So my total sinking fund budget is $120. And my sinking funds stay pretty consistent. Maybe twice a year I'll change things up, but for the most part I stick to my sinking funds. That works for me, but I do know people like to switch these up a lot depending on what season in life they're in. So I do encourage you to kind of play around with your sinking funds to see what works best for you. So then what I like to do is I like to write down my income. So for my paycheck 2, I get $725, so that's a bi-weekly paycheck. And then I will take the total out of each category and add them together to get my budgeted amount, which is $649.50. And then what I'll do is I will subtract these two. I'll subtract the budgeted amount from my income to get the amount that I can pay on my debt snowball, which is roughly $75.50. This may end up being more, just because if I don't use everything in my cash envelopes, that goes into my debt snowball for that paycheck. But this also may be less if I have an emergency before my next paycheck, because I will pull from this before I pull from my emergency fund. because to me it doesn't really make a difference, because if I pull from my emergency fund, I have to pay that money back anyway. So if I can pull it out of my checking account first and I don't have to touch my savings account, that makes me feel a little bit better. So this will sit in my checking account until my next paycheck, and then I will add to it if I don't use everything in my cash envelopes. But that is it for my July paycheck number 2 video. In just a couple days you'll be able to watch my cash envelope stuffing video for this paycheck, which is, it seems to be more popular on my channel, so if you like cash envelope videos, I will link that down below. But I really hope to see you in the next video, and have a great day. Bye!